currently at the restaurant in our resort and I have a little beeper to tell me when my food's ready because I got a gluten-free meal. My mum is currently at a table with her food, I believe. Oh no, she's just paying for it first and then she's going to a table. It is on the dining plan, so we don't technically pay for it. We put snack credits towards it or whatever it is. So yeah, but I'm just waiting for mine. And I'm getting some Mickey-shaped waffles that are gluten-free with some sausages. Okay, so I just come down to get a drink refill, but I thought it would be a great opportunity, to show you guys a bit more of the hotel because I haven't really explored it much myself, and today we're having a bit of a relaxed day again. We're probably going to do some shopping. We've been to Walmart and Target, but of course I didn't film that. So yeah, I thought I would just show you guys around the hotel and show you what it's like around here. That very well, but here is the pamphlet. They're quite expensive, so I decided not to get anything, but everything is very expensive there. Look, even just like short length, $80 for a haircut, $25 for a gentleman's. Like in the UK it would be like, you know, I've gotten my haircut for £14, so nah. Yeah, it's quite expensive here, so I'm not gonna get anything, but I thought I'd bring this out so I could show you guys what is offered there. So I found this place called Victoria Falls and I have no idea what it is at all, so I'm just gonna go up and see. It looks like it's just a restaurant. Oh, I think it's a bar. It's a bar. Okay, I'm not allowed to drink. I'm not over 21.
opportunities to ever see a black rhino alive and in person. I'm afraid in just a few short years, pictures are going to be the only thing that's going to be left of them. Now, those horns that they are losing their lives for are not even true horns. They don't have a bony core. They're actually just made out of keratin. It's the same protein that's found in your own hair and fingernails, but it's got no special properties and no medicinal value whatsoever, even though some countries believe that it does. Very sad. By nature, black rhinos are very solitary animals. They're not very social at all. Quite aggressive as well. They do weigh between 2,000 and 3,000 pounds each, and they are solid. Still charge at 35 miles an hour despite their great size. And we saw some neat stuff here in the forest, but we're going to go ahead and leave it behind so that we can start to make our way up toward the Sapi River to see if maybe we can find some hippos. Now, the Nile hippopotamus is born. They weigh on average about 85 pounds or so, but a full-grown male hippo can tip the scale all the way up to about 5,500 pounds. That's quite the growth right there. Now, typically during the day, hippos are going to keep themselves submerged underneath the water so that they don't overheat. Fully submerged, they can hold their breath anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes at a time. That's pretty impressive. Take a look at the right-hand side, guys. We're going to see a hippo on that little island. Now, usually they will wait till after the sun goes down in the evening to come out of the water and graze on about 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation there in the riverbanks. And sometimes you just need a little snack. More hippos coming up on that left side of the river. Now, a group of hippo is called a bloat, and they're one of the most dangerous animals in all of Africa. That's because they are so very territorial. They are strictly herbivores. They're allowed to eat grasses and vegetation, but they will definitely defend their territory using their 18-inch incisors to do so should they feel it's necessary. Hanging out there in the island, we also see a pod of pink-backed pelicans. Get the name for the coloration they get on their backs during mating season. It was just the slightest blush of pink, nothing too bright. Smallest of the pelican species, they still manage to have about an 8-foot wingspan. Ready to head over this old rickety bridge going right over Nile crocodile down here on our left-hand side. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, those are very real. On land, they're called a bask. In water, they're called a floats. And if we happen to see any with their mouths open, we're not trying to look scary, just letting out some excess body heat. So they regulate their temperatures and they are ectothermic. It means that they are cold-blooded. Take down prey flesh within themselves using a bite force that's well over 2,000 pounds of bone-crushing pressure per square inch of those jaws. So with that, we are off to the savannah. Scenery around us starting to change a little bit as we're getting closer to a different ecosystem. To show where we can find some different kinds of animals. You even have different trees over here. Coming up on our right, we're going to get a chance to see a baobab tree. It's also called an upside-down tree for the way its branches sort of resemble roots. They're able to survive long periods of drought by going leafless for about 9 months out of every year, storing massive amounts of water in their huge trunks. And by doing so, it allows them to live for thousands of years. A great view of the Serengeti grasslands. Stretches for hundreds of miles across East Africa. Acts as a superhighway of sorts for millions of migrating animals every year. It's also home to some of the favorites like giraffe, lions, cheetahs, elephants, and a whole lot more. So we're going to keep our eye out, see what we see when we see it. Welcome to the savannah. Now here on our right-hand side, laying down, these are sable antelope. They are the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Reddish-brown coats, either young males or females. If they're males, the coats are going to darken as they mature. Now, a fully grown male can sport a set of horns that reach about 5 feet in length, using them against predators to protect themselves or even against each other in dominance displays during mating season. Smaller tri-colored antelope here on the right-hand side, these are called springbok, and they get their name from their ability to spring about 6 feet in the air repeatedly. And if they're frightened or excited, it's called pronking when they do that. They are one of the 10 fastest animals in the world, running between 50 and 60 miles an hour. Left-hand side, keep an eye out for a pack of African wild dogs. Looks like they are laying down there in the shade, bottom left-hand corner of that rock wall in the background. I'll pull up to this clearing so we can maybe get a better view. And they're also called painted dogs or painted wolves, so the patchwork-like pattern on their coats. But unlike dogs or wolves, these guys only have 4 toes. They are missing that 5th dew claw. And they are nowhere near domesticated, nor will they ever be. They're actually better at hunting mammals than any of the big cats around here. By working cooperatively together to secure their prey, they're going to chase it to the point of exhaustion, which is a pretty good plan. It actually seems to work for them about 80% of the time. So all kinds of earth coming up ahead here on either side of us. These are termite mounds. The termites will make these out of dirt, saliva, and dung. It's a pretty simple recipe. They bake out in the hot sun all day. That's how they get to be hard as concrete. And they are so sturdy that giraffe and even elephant, they can use them as scratching posts. And once worn down to the smaller mound sizes, that's when the smaller animals, they can hop on top, use them as a lookout point to keep a lookout for any predators that might be trying to hide in the tall grasses, trying to sneak up on them. Now, if we take a look around at the landscape, we can tell what type of animals have already passed through here. We see any trees that are knocked over. That's thanks to the elephants. They're like bulldozers, pushing down the trees to eat them. Bark, branches, leaves, and all. And giraffe are more like pruning shears. So they're going to eat the undersides of the trees. What that does is it opens them up, lets in more light, so more sun can shine down through the grass to help it grow. And working together, they act as nature's gardeners. And the grazers are going to come by and mow down the grasses, keeping it nice and short, and those little ones can trim up the edges. So to balance ecosystem, there's enough food for everybody. Now coming up ahead, you can't miss the spectacular horns on the Akoli cattle. Right-hand side. Those horns do span about 6 feet from tip to tip. They can get all the way up to around 20 inches in circumference at the base in some cases. Both male and female have them. We're also going to see, of course, giraffe and some migrator wildebeest there on the right side as well. There are several different subspecies of giraffe. You can tell them all apart by the pattern on their coats. Ones here in the reserve are called Maasai, and Maasai giraffe have these smaller, rough, lacy edges to their pattern. Kind of looks like someone colored outside the lines. A group of giraffe like this is known as a tower. It's pretty easy to remember that group name. They do tower over almost everything. Tallest animals in the world, and even when they're born, they're looking at grown men and about 6 feet tall. Just keep getting bigger from there. Now the males can generally max out at around 18 to 20 feet tall. Okay.
Hold on, look out your house while they run.
Yeah, you want to know what that is too, right, buddy? All right, go find out. Let me know.
Maybe they're actually super bad. What was that?
That's super weird. Okay. We saw some wildebeest hanging out there with the giraffe and the Akoli too. You might know wildebeest by their other name, Gnu. Spelled G-N-U. It's that low grunting and new sound they make. Now we're going to start to make our way on over toward Monkey Point. After that, we're heading down to elephant country, so a lot of cool stuff coming up, so a lot of exciting animals for us to see. Hey, look, there's an elephant, guys, on our right-hand side. Take a look just across the brush there. Now, after an elephant's really long childhood of about 13 to 15 years or so, males are usually going to go off on their own. Might even form loose bachelor groups for a little while, but for the most part, they're going to remain solitary. Now, females, on the other hand, will spend the rest of their lives with their mothers and all the other females of the herd. Now, we call this area here on the left Monkey Point for the troop of mandrills that had colonized there once upon a time. You can still see them hanging out every now and again. If not, they could be off foraging elsewhere, but mandrills are the largest monkey in the world, known for the bright blue and red markings on their faces. Oh, another elephant all the way down there on the right-hand side. Now, they've actually got more muscles in their trunks than we have in our entire bodies. Elephants have tens of thousands of muscles just in those trunks alone, and they'll use them for everything. Picking up food, drinking water, playing, even throwing sand, mud, or dirt up on their back like this one is done here. So for us, it's called dusting, and they use it as a natural sunblock because just like you and me, they actually have really sensitive skin. Going to go that way because that road is closed. Now, if you notice, this elephant here just has the one tusk. So tusks are, of course, made out of ivory. They're essentially really large teeth.
Yeah.
Just like our own teeth. If they happen to lose them, they break off, get infected. For whatever reason, they do not grow back. laminated up to these red clay pits. Elephants like to eat the clay. It's got a lot of beneficial minerals they don't usually get in their daily diets. See some fresh tusk marks. That's a good sign. Hopefully we can find some more elephants up ahead. Now, elephants actually live in a matriarchal society. So they are led by the oldest and wisest female of their herd. And she's going to be the one to lead them because she's got the most experience. You know, elephants never forget. She knows where all the best food and watering holes are and how to fight off or avoid any predators if they can. So her knowledge is imperative to that herd's survival. If you ever happen to come across a herd of female and they're young, a little word of advice for you. You don't want to get in between a mother elephant and her baby. They are very protective. Now, you might be too if you carried them around for 22 months and gave birth to a nearly 300-pound child. Yeah, the elephants are facing a couple of different challenges these days. They are still being poached for those ivory tests. They're also facing habitat loss as we mine for a mineral ore called coltan. It's found on our cell phones and our laptops. And we can do our part to help out the elephants just by doing something as simple as recycling our old phones and electronic devices when we upgrade to new ones. See a flamboyant, so greater flamingo hanging out over here. Greater flamingo are the largest in size and the lightest in color of all the flamingo species. Back when they hatch, their feathers are actually a light gray. Now, it takes about a year or two of them eating brine shrimp and other crustaceans like krill that are high in beta-carotene for their feathers to turn that nice light pink color.
This is giving me anxiety holding his phone on the side.
Mud wallow up ahead there. Good indication of rhino activity in the area. Rhinos like to roll around that mud to get a nice thick coating in their hides, which uses a natural sunblock and a bug repellent as well. Like a lot of the animals here, rhinos are crepuscular. Take a look all the way down the path on the right-hand side. This means that they are most active during the dawn and dusk hours of the day. So usually during the daytime, they can be found alternating between eating and sleeping.
Me.
Cheetahs have also been known to hang around these parts. We'll keep an eye out for them. Just keep in mind those spots can help them to blend in with their background like camouflage. Not always easy to see. And cheetahs are diurnal, so they're going to be hunting during the day. Now in hunting mode, it only takes them about 3 seconds to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour. Only able to sustain that speed though for a few hundred yards at a stretch is usually all they need to catch their prey. They are sprinters, not long distance runners, built for speed, not for strength. Not a bit of leaves in the shade, they can nearly blend right in. Just a flick of a tail or an ear might give them away. Check out that back tree line there. You see more than one that is a group of cheetah, and that is called a coalition. Now, cropping of rocks just up ahead of us here, known as a copy. We jets out into the savannah, makes a great vantage point for lions looking out for prey. Now, lions are nocturnal, so they are usually inactive around 18 to 20 hours out of any given day, saving up most of their energy for that nighttime hunt. Now, during the day, we see about the same as a lion. It's at night when they have the advantage. Their night vision's about 6 times greater than that of humans, which means they can definitely see you before you see them. Just keep that in mind. Down there on our right-hand side, we can see ostrich, bontebok, and the rest of that crash of white rhino there. Ostrich, of course, the largest flightless birds. May not be able to fly. Instead, they use those wings to help them steer or change direction whenever they're running. And bontebok, little brown and white antelope, they are relative of the wildebeest, nearly poached into extinction for their coats, so they're mainly found now in reserves like this one. Warthog burrows are on our left-hand side, laying down next to that tree. Facing away from us, there's some warthogs, another one walking up. So that is a sounder of warthog. Largest burrowing mammals in Africa. They're going to dig out these burrows or burrow someone else's and back into them, leaving those razor-sharp tusks exposed to help protect themselves. Gonna get get another look at these ostrich, bottleback, and crash a white rhino. The white rhino are a lot more social, quite a bit less aggressive than their cousin the black rhino, which is always a better combination, especially when you consider the fact they can get up to nearly twice the size and still charge at 35 miles an hour. There's a clutch of ostrich eggs down there in the ground. Largest bird egg from the largest bird. Those eggs weigh about 3 pounds each. Now, it's equivalent to around 2 dozen chicken eggs or so, and they are so formidable that a grown man can stand on them without even breaking them. Now I'm going to enter into a newer part of the reserve called Megani Glen, so we'll see if any new friends have decided to call this area their home. So far. Living among the wildlife does not come without its challenges. Those living near the reserve always looking to protect their lives and their livestock. Conservation organizations are aware of that, doing what they can to help benefit and meet the needs of both the humans and the animals, and that way everybody wins. At the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, like other reserves in Africa, work closely together with organizations such as Disney's Conservation Fund. Help protect some of the animals just like the ones we saw here today. Now it stands to reason the more we know about these endangered creatures, the more we can do to help protect them. What can we do to get involved in conservation in our own backyards? It's as simple as reducing, reusing, and recycling paper, plastic, and even electronics. The fact that we are more responsible with our resources, we can ensure that these animals' habitats will be around for many years to come. Looks like we are coming to the end of our safari, so I'm going to drop you off at the Warden's Post I picked you up from.
Gone and got some vests, and I have a child's vest because the other was too big for me, and this one is a bit too tight for me, but I prefer it that way rather than being too loose, so it don't really matter. And then I got my snorkel here too, but I don't really like snorkels, so I'll probably just take the snorkel part off of goggles and just use the goggles in the water. Right, so we're currently just walking in, but it is freezing in here. And I kind of just wanted to dive in, but Taylor doesn't. She's too cold. So we are just slowly strolling in. Oh, we're gonna have to just go straight in when it gets too high up. Oh, I hate it when kids do that. It's like they just don't care who's around them. Okay, I'm gonna go down to my waist so that
Water's in my ear.
just get it over with because it's going to be really cold there.
Okay.
Ooh. I don't want to. Just do it. Just get it to your waist at least, and then it's okay after that. It'll be cooler than it is in the air, so. Right, so we did the swimming with dolphins, and I'll insert some pictures right now of what kind of happened. We did the swimming with them, I did it in the deep end and it was really fun, and we got our pictures with them, we got to feed them, we got to stroke them, and we got to generally hang out with dolphins, which was pretty cool.
Thank you.